So please, I want to take how to enter a trend all over again. I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. Just a moment. So I said the three places we trade, write it down. The three places we trade in an uptrend is one, we buy at the support. We buy at support. Two, resistance, that the last resistance that became support, right? The last major resistance that became support. That's the next place you are supposed to buy. And then the third one, Mama Jane, are you writing? You buy at support, last resistance,
Yes,
major resistance that became support. And the last one is around the lower trend line of the uptrend. Around the lower trend line of the uptrend. Elvis, am I correct?
Yes, coach. Yes, coach.
Okay, good. So it's not enough to know all those places. I notice the challenge most people have is, okay, how do I now join the buy, even if I'm seeing an uptrend, right? So let me know when you start seeing my screen. You can be writing this down, how to join the trend. Number one, go on daily. Go on daily. Check out for the trend. Go on daily, check out for the trend. Are we out there? Can I go in?
yes.
Okay, good. Now on that daily, if it's an uptrend, it's simple. Just look for the last major resistance that became support. If I want to go with that trend, we have an uptrend. Yes or no, everybody?
Yes.
So on this daily, if I wanted to join this trade, I think Arinze did this assignment during the day. This was the last major resistance that became support. And I think I taught this class already what swing point is. You'll just be looking for a major swing point. This was the major one. Of course, I know some of you would have marked out all these zones, but all the ones in the past will not be necessary. This is the last major one. Any one you see on daily is where you are going to go on each one to go and join. But now, let's say you missed this particular zone, right? Remember, this is the last zone that anybody should have bought. Why? Because it was a resistance that became support in the past. This was a resistance zone that became support. And also, is also where it's touching the lower trend line, which is one of the three places I told you you want to buy in an uptrend. So this is a very strong support area. So if I was supposed to join this buy, this is where I should join. This same zone, I now saw on daily, I will go to H4 and wait for the same zone, assuming market has not gotten it. So going on H4 now is because I saw this zone on daily. Are we together? But now it has already said buying. I can't join again. So what I would do again is to now go on H4, look for the last one again that got broken, that the market has not retested. So on H4 now, because this one already started on daily, I can't wait here again. But assuming market had not gotten here on daily, this is where I will be buying. But the buy has already started. So the rule says what? Buy at what? Any resistance that became support. I will now check. Since they started this buy, has it broken another resistance that became support? So can anybody tell me whether you are seeing another zone where this market broke out of? It broke out of this range here. Can you see there was a resistance around this zone? So what I would have done again is, this is an order zone to have joined this buy. And I think the market got there and started going up. Am I making sense? So if any zone you see on daily that you are going to come to on H4 to come and enter. But when the market gets there, you are not supposed to confirmation candles. There are candles you will see to join that particular zone. Am I making sense, everybody? If I'm making sense, drop a 7 on the chat box. Now let me give you a scenario. Let me start from daily. I want to trade these markets. What I would do, I won't start from H4. I'll go to daily. When I go to daily, remember before you connect your trend line, I know everybody here already knows how to connect trend line. Just look for all the major buy candles that went up, mark out beneath them. You see the zones. So if you want to join this buy, let me ask, where would anybody join this buy? To call him. Let's say you wanted to join this buy right now. Where would you be buying?
Around 1816 to 1828. That's on
18.
16 to 1828.
It's 1861 to 61.
1816 to 1828.
1816. Okay, to 28 based on what I marked. Okay, any other person? He's talking about the 1816, 1828 zone. Mama Jane, where would you join this by? Remember, any place you're telling me, you yourself, you have to check, is this the support or is this the last where the market is meeting?
I'll be joining at the one.
At
The
which
one it's two zone. Because there was a resistance there too.
Which one? Which one?
The 1782 zones.
1782. I'm trying to check what 1782 is on my chart. Let me borrow this arrow. 1782, that's the second place I marked. This one.
Yes.
But market has passed, so you can't join. Because market has broken this one. See the first time it broke, retested, broke, retested, broke, retested. It has already passed. Can you see? It broke out of here last. It was a break. So I can't come to the past because market has tested it more than once, 2, 3. This is the last one where it broke out from. And this, you only did like a retest once. Can you see? Are we all together? So
yes.
I would expect that because this market has gone this far, I was supposed to join the buy from here. Now, I now said any major zone you saw last on daily is where you want to go and wait when you go on H4. So this is the last major zone. But I will now check. As the market also retested here, it has retested this zone with this red before these buyers now went on. But I won't go and jump in at the top, right? I won't go and jump because it's this upper trend line. And what I taught you about the upper trend line of an uptrend, that's where the pullbacks happen. Look at when it hit the upper trend line, what did the market do? It sold. So I won't go and be buying here. So I want to go on H1 and see, is there any other zone? Though I'll still put this 1828 area in mind, this zone. I'll go on daily. I'll now remove this trend line. I will now go to day H4. After I've seen a zone on daily, which is around that 1828, 1830, I'll now go to H4. Now, this is what I'll now do when I get to H4. I'll now draw out another trend line for H4. Can you see? On H4 now, this was that zone we saw daily. We remember 1828, 1816 that LV said. I now check as the market retested. So everybody look at this zone. Before it was a resistance, 1, 2, 3, that daily zone we saw. Market broke out of it and market has retested it. So if you are still waiting here, the market might not come here again. Am I making sense? Because what? It has already broken and has retested. So what I will now do, I can't go and jump in. I'll now check again. Is there another smaller zone? This market went away from here, where this market has broken and did not retest. So who can see there was another resistance here? True or false?
True.
Good. Why? Is the resistance because the market sold from there? Now, did the market close above it? Yes, meaning the market already broke above this resistance again. Can you see? Because there was another blue candle that closed right above it. So meaning this was the next zone anybody should have joined this by around this between 1858 and 1861. Now, see what the market did after it broke. What did it do? It pulled back. Although it didn't touch it precisely, remember it's a zone, right? So what it did was sold into that zone. Then it started giving some of the candles that we talked about, although we have not gotten to that candle. The moment I have seen all these 2, 3 dojis on top of this zone, I would have joined the buy after I closed. So this was the next zone anybody should have joined. But I still expect that it might still push down, because note, when it comes down into this zone, right, it's going to touch the trend line. I will buy. Right now, some people will say, I want to wait for this one to break. That's a wrong way of trading. What if this zone, this resistance does not break in the next 1 month? Your own job is not to be waiting for something to break. Look for the last one that broke. This is the last one. Wait for the market to retest and join. That's how to trade, not waiting for another one to break. Am I making sense? Start from daily. The zone you see on daily, go out on H4 and check if the market has retested. So if the market has not come back there, that's where you join. But if the market has already started that buy move and you want to join halfway, just look for another smaller zone where the market broke. That way you wait for a retest of that one and you join. So this would have been our next best area for us to buy. And I still expect that the market will push down here one more time before going up. So if I was buying here, my stop loss would definitely be below that zone. I put my stop loss below the zone, and then I can put my TP based on market structure, what has happened in the past, to look for the next zone to take my TP. Do we understand? Do we understand? Yeah. So I'm not coming back to this trend entry again. I want to believe that everybody knows it. So to be sure you know it, so I can go into today's topic very fast. Let me give you another example, and somebody else would analyze for me what you feel. Okay, so everybody, what trend is this? What trend? Oh, yeah, answer.
Downtrend.
Downtrend. So meaning you'll be looking to do buy
It's a
or
down.
sell. Good. You'll be looking to do what? Buy or sell.
To sell.
Okay, great. So since I check on daily, what I want to do first of all is to draw the broken in the past. What I would do is to look for the last resistance. Mama Jane, pay attention to this. I won't be waiting, not what I won't be doing. I'm not waiting for the market to break here. I know some people say I'm waiting for this one to break so I can join. That's wrong. It might not break in the next 1 month. Meaning you are not trading. So what I would do is look for the last resistance, major one that I can. That's the one I want to join. Because in a downtrend, we are meant to sell at where? 3 places: resistance, the supports that became resistance, or the upper trend line. Those are the 3 places. So now I'm trying to focus on all the resistance zones. The ones you always have business with are always majorly the last 2, because all these previous ones, they've already retested. Can you see this one has retested? Sorry, now I won't pick. So you see, this has retested. This one too, the market has retested. Retest means it did a pullback there, right? So I'll now try to drag a trend line across. So let me even focus on. Okay, the trend line will still do with this one. So who can tell me where was the last major zone inside of this market that you would want to join? Hold on, I never mark finish. Remember, you're looking for either a resistance zone to join, right, or the upper trend line. So look at the number and tell me where you will join. This where is the best place, or meaning the last resistance anybody should have joined? Should I call names or want to go one by one? Benedict,
1.
One.
133.639. That's it.
Okay. Who else? Madam Jane, what's your own?
The next zone, 138.
138. I didn't hear that.
I said
Mama
the
Jane.
next zone that you marked out, 138 zone.
138. 138 is here.
Yes.
Okay, so you now check. This was the candle that broke it. It has retest. You can't keep waiting for this. Do you understand? This for people that did not join my class now. The people that joined my class from the beginning will know that they will not trade here. EBE was a previous support that has already become resistance. Retest means the buyers already went there. 1, 2, 3. And the market has passed there and even broke another one. So if you're waiting here, it's not going to come. It's just like you said that buy. It's similar to what you selected on the buy. The market is not coming here anytime soon. It's not even coming here again because it has retested here. Do you understand? So you can't wait to sell here again. Elvis, which one is your own? I didn't say Angela is correct though. Elvis,
okay. From let me see, 134.304.
it's on one line now. Just call 134 to 133.
Yes, 134.
Okay.
Yes, 134.
Yes. Benedicta, which one did you select? Type it on the box, even if you're on the road. So I think I'll go with Angela and Elvis. Why? Because this was the last one. Can you see this big candle? This was the last zone the market broke that became a resistance. The market now went there twice. One, sellers pushed down. Went there again, sellers still pushed down. You understand? So this zone now, this 134.3, 133.6, I will now go on H4. Why I'm not going for this last one? I was hoping somebody would say this one. You can't go for this one yet. Why? Because this one is still a support. Market never break up. It has all broken. It has all turned to a resistance. So you can't join here. And you can't be waiting for it to break. This is the last one that broke. This daily that I saw, 134, I will now remove the trend line, go on H4 and look at that same zone. Can you see? This is the zone. This is it here. Are we together? So, but because the sell has already left you, you did not join the sell. You already missed it. Assuming you were there when it got there, you would have joined the sell. So the next zone, you now look on H4, is there a smaller zone, and try to connect the trend line on H4 and see if there is a way the market will touch the upper trend line. So even if this thing plays back and keeps going up, if it hits here, this 133.6 is still another way, another place where you can join. Are we together? But after this place, I'll try to see, was there a small support that the market also broke? Meaning, is there another small resistance? And I can see one here. Can you see? If you look to the left, in the past, there is a small one on H4 here. True or false, everybody? Just look to the left. So this would have been another opportunity for anybody who missed the beginning of this to join this. But I expect that this might still full up, touch this trend line and come down. That's what I expect. So if I'm selling around here or here, my stop loss would definitely be above this zone. And then my TP, I can keep following the zone. There is a TP here, then another zone lower. How will I know the next zone lower? Based on what has happened in the past. I can use it for my zone. So I want to believe everybody understands how to join the trend now. Yes or no? Is it clearer?
Yeah, very clear.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mama Jane, is it better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I think that's on trend entry. So today we'll be going into we'll be going into trend reversals. Trend reversals that says, how do you know when a trend is about to reverse? Meaning, if we were having a downtrend, the trend wants to turn to an uptrend. If we are having an uptrend, the uptrend wants to turn to a downtrend. That is what we mean by trend reversal, right? So let's write, everybody, write down your notes. Trend reversal. Trend reversal. Trend reversal simply means the overall change in the direction of the trend or the market. Overall change in the direction of the market. Full stop. Notes. When dealing with trend reversal, always start from at least the daily time frame. At least the daily time frame. Full stop. Now, why are we saying, no, this one, you're not writing this one, I'm trying to explain. Why are we saying the daily time frame? Because on H4, remember I told you that every trend has two moves, right? The major move and the pullback. Your pullback on an H4 trend can still break out of an H4 trend and really still be a pullback move. Just trying to align with daily. That is why when you're saying that the trend wants to reverse, the daily time frame is the minimum trend you should check, not an H4. Do you understand? An H4 trend can break, but it's still inside of your daily trend. So when saying a trend wants to reverse, deal with the daily time frame. So let's continue writing notes. There are signs you will see market behavior. Or the market behavior that lets you know the trend is likely going to be changing direction. Changing direction. Can I go on? Can I go on? Oh, You people are not talking now.
Yes, there are dash you would see.
That will let you know that a trend is about to reverse.
So this is
Number
signs
one,
that you see. There are
that lets you know a trend is about to reverse. So the signs are number one, meaning these are the things that you see that let you know ahead of time that, oh, this trend is likely to reverse. Do you get? So like say if I was in an uptrend and I was buying, and I now start seeing these signs, I would exit my buy because I know that that trend will not last. It can start changing direction anytime, and you don't want it to change while you are buying, or probably you are in a downtrend and you are selling, and the trend starts to give you those signs. You don't want to let it catch you unawares. That's what we mean. So once you see those signs, you will know that, man, I'm supposed to exit the market. That's what we're saying. So number one sign. Now write this down. Trend reversal signs for an uptrend, meaning the one I want to give you now is for an uptrend. So when I give you the one for a downtrend, you will know. So trend reversal signs for an uptrend to a downtrend. Put that subheading like that. Trend reversal signs from an uptrend to a downtrend. Can I go on? It's like we're not ready to do. Can
yes,
I
you
go
can go
on?
on.
Can
Yes,
go
you
on.
can go.
Okay. Number one, market stops making higher highs. 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 Madam Jane, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So now everybody in front of what you just wrote, now write this down. That is the last buy impulsive move. The last buy impulsive move is not higher than the previous one. The last buy impulsive move is not higher than the previous one. It's not higher than the previous one. First up. So let me quickly explain what you just wrote.
Said is not higher.
Yes. Yes, it did not. That is the last buy move
Okay.
did not go higher than the one before it. Do you get? It's not higher. When you say something goes higher, it's not going to change. So what do I mean by that? Now everybody look up, look at the screen. Let me number this. Okay, so
Makuma, remove this picture.
okay, so look at the move from point A to 1 was a buy move. Remember, buys are the ones that face up, they're the ones that go up. So look at this A to 1, it went up, that was a buy move. 1 to B was a sell move. But look at the next buy move from B to 2. Can you see that this B to 2 went higher than where this A to 1 stopped? This A to 1 was the first buy move. The next buy move was from B to 2, point B to 2. Can you see that point B to 2 went higher than where point A to 1 stopped? Now, once you see that happen, it's like saying this buy impulsive move went higher than the last one. in that case, our uptrend is still fine. Do you understand? Now look at the next buy move that went from this point C, this one that went to point 3. C to 3, this one that went up. It still went higher than the one that went from B to 2. In that case, this buy move was still higher than this. We are saying the market kept creating higher highs. So it made our uptrend valid. But look at when the move back into this zone. The next buy move it did, which was this move here. Can you see it did not go higher than the previous one before it? True or false, everybody? This buy move, did it go higher than the one that went from here to here? Did it go higher?
No, it did not.
It did not. Good. At that point, I start getting very careful. But is it a guarantee that the trend wants to reverse? No. It's just like you likening this trend to your relationship. Elvis, let's say you already have a girlfriend, right? First of all, you now see the lady, the woman you put in the house that has been smiling to you every day. All of a sudden start getting, starts to frown. That frown is a bad sign. You understand? It's just a woman is just frowning up and down inside the house. She's just eating. It's not a guarantee that she wants to end that relationship. But that sign lets you know that there is fire on the mountain. Is it not? So this next buy move, not going higher than the previous one, is not a guarantee also that this trend wants to reverse. It's just letting you know that, oh boy, the buyers are getting weak, because buyers are supposed to push the price up. So instead of being able to push, they are not able to push past where they went before. So it's like the first sign that the buyers are getting weak and there is fire on the mountain. Do you understand? If you understand that explanation, please put an 8 on the chat box very quickly. Everybody put an 8. Let me know those that are still with us and those that are distracted. Okay, good. So that's the first sign that lets you know. Number 2, right? Candles of the buy move starts getting smaller. Candles of buy move or the impulsive move starts to get smaller. Candles of the impulsive move or the buy move start getting smaller. While candles of the pullback move, starts getting bigger. Candles of the pullback move starts getting bigger. Full stop. I've written that. So what we are simply trying to say, in essence, is if you've ever watched a football match between two teams, maybe let's say the first were at the beginning of the match, they were running very fast, right? But towards the end, you now see them getting weak. Their pace is slow. If the other team is sharp, what do? If they increase their power, they can beat the other team. True or false? So the same thing. If the buyers that own the uptrend, who are the ones that make the impulsive move, start getting weaker, then the sellers can start getting stronger if they apply more pressure. Now, how will you know the buyers are getting weaker? Simple. The candles are what represents the move of the market. So you will see it in the size of the candle reducing in size. That's one way of knowing that this trend might be coming to an end. Do you understand? But note, all this does not guarantee that the trend is coming to an end. Remember, we're using the case of a married woman that started eating. Maybe after eating, she stopped preparing the husband's food. Maybe the husband's food is supposed to be prepared 3 times. She reduced it to 1 time. Does it mean she has already divorced? No, because they can still beg her. If they beg her, maybe the husband gives her money, she can change her mind. So you too liking that short candle to mean that the woman is still doing shakara, right? But you're already seeing the red signs. So the number 3 thing that might likely happen, write this down. Number 3 sign is market might likely start to range. Market might likely start to range. Market might likely start to range. Are we all there? So in front of that, right, note, and this is very important, just because the market is ranging is not a guarantee that the trend will reverse. Market ranging is not a guarantee that the market would reverse. The range can just be a period of rest for the buyers to gather. Are we all there? Can I go on?
Yes.
Okay. What did you write last, everybody? Somebody should read where they stopped. Nobody was writing. Angela, you're not at home. Are you at home?
Not at home. Pass at home.
Okay, so you are not writing, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Note.
I know Benedicta is also on the road, so she's not writing. Elvis, tell me you are writing.
Note.
Okay.
Just
No.
because the market is ranging.
Does not guarantee. Okay.
That the
Now,
market
this is
will
what
reverse.
I'll continue with that note, since most people are not writing. Now, look at this. We were in this uptrend before, right? This market was trending up, yes or no? Can you see all the way back? It was moving up. Can you see? But it got to a point. Buyers got tired when an uptrend. What did he do? The market started ranging. He find it difficult to break this particular resistance around it. But it ranged. If somebody had said, oh, because it was ranging, if you even notice, observe what was happening here, everybody, look at first the buying candle. Can you see how big this buy candle was? But by the time we got here, what happened? These ones were still big, but not as big as this. Look at this third place. Can you see the buying candles here were even smaller? True or false? Now pay attention. The selling candles start getting bigger here. But even though it ranged, even though the last eye, remember what I told you, the signs of reversals, that the last eye, the last buy move has to be higher than the previous one. This was the last buy move, yeah? This next buy did not go higher than this. It did not go higher than this. Can you see? And then you start seeing the candles ranging to the side. Somebody else would have thought this trend was going to reverse at that point. But instead, what did it happen? It ranged till it hits this trend line. Remember, the lower trend line is another buy area. When the market hit this trend line, it gathered much force and was eventually able to break above the last resistance. At this point, it created a new higher high. So what am I trying to say? Just because you see a range, just because you see the candles getting smaller of your impulse does not guarantee that your trend will reverse. Do you understand? That's why I said, because if you remember what I taught us about a ranging market, in a ranging market, I taught you to always expect anything. It could break to the upside or break to the downside. And in this case, after a range, it continued to the upside and continued the existing trend. Do you understand? But, and this is the note I wanted you to write, note, except the range closes outside of your trend. And the trend we are talking about, I hope you remember we are talking about the daily trend. So write this note, except the range closes outside of your daily trend. Except the range closes outside of your daily trend. Arinze, please write. The rest to go and watch the video later. Except the range closes outside of your daily trend. In that case, write that down. In that case, that is the first time you start to pay attention to that reversal. In that case, that is the first time you start to pay attention to that reversal. Have you written that? So, in this case, now this is what I hope I'm sharing my previous screen. Gather momentum and push up, or if it does this, closes outside of this your trend line like this. Can you see this particular move now is outside of this daily trend? At this point, my first red alert will go off in my head. It's like that woman that has been frowning, that has refused to cook your food. One day you notice that she did not sleep at home. You know, the woman refused to sleep at home. Separation is coming gradually. That is what it means, right? So this is like that first red flag you need to pay attention to. If you are still following me, please drop a 9 on the chat box. Drop a 9 on the chat box. Drop a 9 on the chat box. Okay, good. So now write this down. And this one is the most important one. Until this happens, even though it close outside, it's still not a guarantee. A woman that sleep outside, they can go and beg her and she'll come home and she'll still continue with the marriage. So write this down. Note, once the candle closes outside of your daily trend, remember I use the word close. It's not enough for the candle to be outside, it has to close outside. Because if you're dealing with a daily time frame, around 450 right now, I'm explaining now before you continue writing. This is still 450. A daily candle for today has not closed. Oh, we all know. It's not going to close until probably late at night, around 11. So if you now go and check around 11 and you see the candle outside of your trend line, you say it has closed. Well, if you see that 450 and it's outside the trend line, it has not closed. Because it can still close back inside the trend and you just see ordinary wick outside. So it's always important to wait for anything that has to do with candle, let it close before you make a decision. So let's continue writing. After the candle closes outside the trend line, this is the last point I told you is important. Comma. After it closes outside the trend line, comma, it has to break below the next major support. It has to close below the next major support. It has to close below the next major support before you have a complete reversal. Before you have a complete reversal. Full stop. Arinze, can I go on? Arinze, what did you write last? It has to close below the major support before we have a reverse. I will explain now.
Okay.
Right. Now, this is what I mean. Now, everybody look at this trend on the screen. This candle is outside of this trend line. True or false? Let's assume this is a candle. Is it outside of the trend line?
Yeah.
Yes. True.
But even though it's outside the trend line, this was the last major support inside this uptrend. Meaning this was where the buyers pushed the prices up from last. So, and if you look to the past, this was also a resistance that became support. So these like the strong supports now. Do you understand? Inside of this uptrend, this market now needs to close below this. Meaning this candle that came out now needs to do something like this. You need to see it go below that zone. Because in reality, if I drag this, you know, when you mark out your zone, you mark it out horizontally. How do you do? If I drag out the line, if this does not cross, if this candle does not cross and close below this zone, you don't have a reversal on it. Do you understand now, Arinze, what I mean? Because when it breaks, candle closes below support, it becomes a resistance. Remember, anytime you break a support, it becomes a resistance. So it's like saying we are now expecting that sellers will come into the market. But as long as it does not break this, your uptrend is still valid. Anything can happen because the market can do something like this. Remember, this is now a support. This place is a support. Meaning, as the sellers are pushing down here, the buyers can come in strongly into this market from here and still push the price up. And if they go up higher than the previous high they made before, then this uptrend continues. Something like this happened on GBP USD just this last week. It gave an impression that it was going to sell, right? And then all of a sudden, it pushed back up and created a new high. So at that point, he invalidated the fact that it was breaking. But if it comes and closes below here, how do we trade a break? Simple. Just wait for the same market to retest this same zone that it just broke. By then, you would have seen, if you were paying attention, that the market has started forming a new uptrend. Because you see one point that will touch here. Sellers would have touched this trend line here once. By the time this breaks, let's say it breaks this way, right? And it's retesting back. It comes back into this same zone. Remember, this is now the new support. This most likely will also touch this new downtrend that is now creating. Of course, you see a confirmation candle and then you sell from this same last support that became resistance. Am I making sense, everybody? So at this point now, I can now say we have a new downtrend. So it goes again, it pulls back, keeps doing something like this, forming a downtrend. By the time you bring out your downtrend line, if you begin to see something like this, you know a downtrend is coming. So, but first, you won't have that downtrend if this market does not close below this zone. So let me go and give you a live example on the chart. So, of all the points I've been mentioning, until it closes outside your daily trend, first of all, all those ones are still doing, they are just doing press up. The moment it closes below that support, it's like saying this market has gone beyond the border. Is the moment the woman now packs her clothes, everything out of that husband's house. You know, at that point, you know that now grace of God go fit save this marriage again. Do you understand? So, but the signs, everything will not just happen one day. It will be giving you the signs gradually, the same way the market was giving you all of those signs gradually. Let me know if I'm still making sense. So if you don't understand, speak up. So market did something like this. You know, have you ever noticed that sometimes inside a trend, there are more trend? True or false? Look at this particular trend line now. It's correct. Abi, but I could also do like this, depending on the trend line time frame you're dealing with. If I do this, this will be a bigger time frame because it's touching this trend line only twice. Are we also paying attention? There's a touch here once, and there's a touch around here too. But if I want to go to all the places I marked, if I want to follow all the buys that have happened inside the trend, I think I will go with this. I'll do this. Are we all together? Everybody pay attention. Can you see there was a point where the candles closed outside of this daily trend? True or false?
True.
Good.
True.
Outside of this daily trend, right? Remember I told you it needs to break the next support. This was the support when it closed outside of here. This was the next support. True or false, everybody? Because when all you need to do is just look back inside the trend. This was the next major support when this candle closed outside here. Meaning I'm looking down here for the market to close before I say we have a complete reversal. But did you see what the market, when it got here, what did it do? It gathered what? Much buyers came in because it was a support and they pushed it up, right? So the moment they push this price up, we don't have a downtrend yet, right? But now we still don't have an uptrend that is guaranteed. Why? Because remember I told you for an uptrend to continue, the market needs to keep creating higher highs. This was the last highs, like the highest buy level this market got to. This move now needs to close above this zone for this uptrend to be really solid. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Good. So because one thing has still happened, this is a breakout of the trend. This buy can just retest this trend line and then continue dropping. If it now drops this time around and now closes below this 1.82, market needs to break below and close below this 1.82 for us to have a downtrend. So if it does not close below it, if it gathers more force here and pushes back inside this your uptrend, meaning next candle now close inside this trend and then closes above here, your uptrend continues. That is what it means. So as far as this market is concerned now, you can't say you have a reversal because the market has not closed below that 182. So show yewa.
Very clear.
So the most important thing is when the candle closes outside of your daily trend, wait for it to break or close below the next support. As when the market closes below this now, see, by the time you draw your trend line, you start seeing a downtrend that is coming gradually. Look at the head of this cell here. Can you see? You just have to pay attention. You see it. So I want to see like 2 touches. It touches here twice. If it touches here, bam, it's this trend line and bounces back down and comes and breaks this, you just expect a pullback into this same zone. Then you have a downtrend. If not, expect your uptrend if this closes back above inside that previous trend. So that's how you know whether a trend is reversing or not. So is it hard? Is it hard? Everybody, is this hard?
Not hard.
Okay, good. So now let's go to signs of a downtrend. The ones you wrote down were for uptrend. So it's almost the same thing right now. Downtrend signs. Downtrend reversal signs. Downtrend reversal signs. So this case, we are talking about a downtrend that wants to become an uptrend. So it's almost just going to be similar. So number 1, Arinze, I know you are the only one, right? So, yeah, right. Downtrend reversal signs. Number 1. What do you think will be the number 1?
It stops creating.
Market stops making lower lows.
Good. Market stops making lower lows. Great. Means the last sell move will not be lower than the previous sell move before it. So write this down. Market stops making lower lows. I like that. It is sharp. Who said that first? Was it Mama Jane or Angela? So when you said it, Mama Jane, I mean, Equatel Fry. Market stop making lower lows. Number 2. What do you think will be the number 2?
Candles of the sell more start
Start
getting
getting smaller. Good. While the pullback buy might likely start getting bigger. Great. So write it down too. I was able to finish this class in 1 hour. Hallelujah. Number 3, go.
Markets might likely start to range. The same.
Market might start to range. Remember what I said. Anytime you see a range, don't just assume the market will reverse.
Yes,
No.
guarantee.
Yeah. Because most times in the middle of the chart, when the market is weak, it always range. It will range. It's the trend line. It's always important. That's why I always like people draw trend line. If it's Femi chart that doesn't have trend line, I'll just look at it like this one doesn't know what it's doing. Because sometimes while it's ranging, if you don't put a trend line, you will not know whether this thing will soon hit this trend line and start dropping and continue selling, or it's going to close outside the range. If you don't put the trend line, you won't know which one is going to happen. So it's always important that whenever you mark out your market, always put your trend line. So what's the next point? What's the next one? Oh yeah. I'm going to ask everybody a question on this chat now. What's the next point, Arinze?
Okay, let me come again. You said except the range closes outside of your daily trend. In that case, that's the first time you start to pay attention to that reversal.
Yes, because market can range, hit your trend line and then continue to the downside again. Do you understand? You can hit the trend line. You remember I told you when I was telling you about trend line that most times bank orders, banks are the real people that move this market. If you've ever seen how the market react, go and start reacting, go and start paying attention to what happens when a market hits the trend line. Sometimes it will hit the trend line and move away very fast. You'll see wicks. When we get the candles, don't worry now, you see pin bar that will move away very fast from that trend line. It tells you that what it means, why it moves very fast with that wick is simple. Big orders were there, and most times it's banks that set those orders, or like the way it will move in just the middle of the chart. So if it ranges and hit that trend line and big money order was there, meaning they've set spending order down that is big, not like our own small money, $100,000, $50,000, even if you come in with $1 million. But banks that set a pending order of probably 2.5 billion. If it's waiting around that trend line, the moment the market hit that trend line, it will run away very fast. And by running away, meaning it's gathering momentum, it will just continue dropping down. That's what it means. But a trend line that it hits and then it's still ranging and it breaks out, in that case, just know that the selling pressure is getting weak. That is what that means. And if selling pressure is getting weak and it closes outside of your trend line, anything can happen. Are we together? So now, everybody, I want to ask you a question. Do I have a candle outside of this trend line? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay. Do we have a reversal?
No.
No.
I'm coming. Pay attention. Do we have a sell continuation right now? Wait, this.
Yes.
Okay, well, do we have a cell continuation? Does this mean that this downtrend has continued?
Yes.
No,
Look at it very well. And you are going to defend
no,
your
no,
answer.
no, not fully,
Eh?
not yet. If
Angela,
he gives lower
wait,
lows, then yes.
wait. Don't say yes, please. I'll ask everybody to their list later. Angela, do we have a cell continuation now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. Mama Jane,
Yes, ma'am.
do we have a cell continuation?
Yes, we do.
The world of you are saying this, yes. I beg you from going your phone, yes. Everybody is saying yes because I always say yes, but so Angela, why do you say it has continued selling? Meaning the downtrend has continued back. That's what if you say it has continued selling, it's like saying the downtrend has continued. It's no longer reversing. So why did you say that?
And the downtrend is continuing because it has not closed, reversed and closed at the major
No, I
resistance.
marked those zones. I marked it out with A, B, C, D, or E. So when you explain, you can say it has not closed below zone. So.
Okay, it didn't close above E.
It didn't close above E. Okay, thank you. Madam Jane,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
open.
Yes, because it didn't break out of the zone here, so it's still maintaining the downtrend.
Now wait, so maybe you people did not get my question well. I know we don't have a reversal, right? Meaning we don't have trend, but I'm now asking, as the downtrend continued, do you understand? It's one thing to say it did not close above zone E, so we don't have an uptrend. But right now, this
No. It is ranging. It didn't continue.
Thank you. We are in a consolidation phase. It's ranging right now, even though it ranged outside of this trend. We don't have a downtrend continuation. Remember, anytime market is still ranging, it can still decide to go and break in any direction. But that's not even the point I'm looking for. There's something that will make it confirm that sell. And I mentioned it when we're talking about the uptrend. So Arinze, I think Arinze will give me what I want to hear. If you form my hand, Arinze.
Okay, I think it's going to continue when it gives a lower low, another lower low.
Thank you.
That is lower than the previous.
I said for the uptrend to continue, it needs to create another higher high. Now, this point F, this zone F, was the lowest this cell. Look at this cell now. It didn't go lower. Even anytime it ranged and it sold down, it did not go lower than this point F. For us to really have a continuous downtrend, this cell that came all the way from point E to F needs to go below the last low of this F, meaning it needs to go lower than the previous cell low. If it now breaks this below F and closes below, I will say yes, our cell has continued, meaning our downtrend is continuing. Why? Because it broke. And if you look at it, it's like saying this thing now broke out of this range. Remember, your range can break either to the upside or downside. If it breaks to the downside, what do we say you do? Wait for a retest and sell, because it's like saying the market wants to sell. So if it closes below this F, it's like saying the market has closed below the previous low. Look at all these sell moves now. This was lower than this one, was why we're still having a downtrend. Then next sell move went lower than this one. That's when we have a sell. This one also went low. But after this last sell, no other sell move went lower. So if you want to say your downtrend continue, it needs to break and close below this last sell move. Do you understand now? So it's not enough for it to sell, because the truth is, each time the market closes outside of the downtrend, it will try to go here. Most times it doesn't break it at once, except in rare situations. It will still come down, retest. And people will think, hey, let me jump in the cell again, bam, and then it will catch them. But if it returns from here and goes up now and break below, above here. Now let me actually wait. Everybody look again. It's going up. Do we have an uptrend now?
No.
Mama Jane, Look at where
No,
this
no,
market is right now. Do we have an uptrend? No. Okay,
no.
I'm coming. If we have this, do we have an uptrend now? See where it's up now. Do we have an uptrend? Mama Jane, still you.
Not yet, ma.
Why?
It has not come back to retest that zone E.
That's come back to test. Okay, I love that. Okay, because you wanted to break my heart small, but thank God you said it's because of the retest. Okay, but at this point, can you be looking and say, oh, this market has broken above, right? We might most likely have a reversal, right? All I just need to join is wait for the retest. Meaning, when it comes back to retest the same zone, the market needs to close above the zone, and then you join the new buy move. Do you understand? So the moment it closes above point E, first time it closes above point E, let your alarm be up that almost our uptrend is starting. All you just need for a retest. And by the time it does this retest, you'll see the first that went here. Both of them will touch this new trend line that is just forming. Can you see? It goes up again, create another high move, and it's going to come back and retest, because this was where it broke out of last. True or false? It will come and retest, gather momentum again, and keep going up. Before you know what's happening, your uptrend is going. If I were you, if you screenshot this thing now, go and compare it to what you are saying on all these GU, EU, gold. You see that this is how the market has been moving, and it formed that uptrend. I want to show you when the downtrend got broken, so that you see those signs that I'm saying. Those are things what that let you know that the market is really, really changing. Are we together? So I hope this thing really, really made sense today very well. Let me still use this GU. You know this GU before we were in a downtrend. Who saw it? Look at all these parts. The market was in a downtrend. True or false? The part I'm showing you on this screen right now, this market was previously in a downtrend because it kept selling.
True.
But all of a sudden, now look at something. This sell move, this sell went lower than this previous sell. This sell move went lower than the one that stopped here. This sell impulsive move went lower than the one that stopped here. At all these points, you can say the downtrend was still valid. Look at another sell impulsive, went lower than where this one stopped. Note though, I want you to pay attention to what happened towards the end before we had that uptrend. Look at it again. This sell move went lower than where this one stopped. But after this one that came very low, I'm coming. After these ones that stopped here, look at the next sell move. This was the first red flag for anybody that was paying attention. Can you see that this sell did not go lower than this one? Can you see it? At this point, when I was trading this downtrend, I knew that this market would soon reverse. So if you are dragged out your trend line, you will notice when this market range. Can you see it range gradually? By the time it range, it was already out of this trend line. Let me put the trend line. That's why I always said, put your trend line so you will know when the market actually breaks out of the trend line. If you don't put the trend line, you will not know. You will just think the market is still ranging. Meanwhile, that range would have closed outside of your downtrend. So can you see at this point what happened? Baba don't range, come out inside this downtrend. But after this point, this was the next resistance that the market needs to close above. But it did not close above immediately. Can you see it's there ranging, going up, going down, going down, going down. So if at the point it was telling, I now said, do we have your downtrend? No, we didn't have a downtrend because this sell that came here did not go lower than this. If it went lower than this, then we would have had a continuous downtrend. All of a sudden, until this candle closed above this point. This is now like our point E that we're looking at in that diagram. After it closed above it, what did it do? It retested and came back down to continue up again. So maybe that was what Mama Jane was saying, that we need to wait for a retest, which the market did, and then we add our uptrend continuation. If it's very clear, put a 7 on the chat box. If it's very clear, put a 7 on the chat box. Put a 7 on the chat box. If it's very clear. Good. So it's not enough to say market close outside of your trend line. You need to see it close above the next zone. Now, all these things we talked about, it doesn't work for H4. It can close outside of your H4, and you can even use it to quickly take some quick trade. But just know that your initial trend is still valid until it closes outside of the day. Any questions so far on what we learned today? No question, right? So for those of you who did not take the notes, trust me, you're going to need this note when we get to patterns. So please, I'll send this recording later. Go through it, use it to formulate your own notes, right? So that you have it. And for those that missed this class, I'll send you all this recording. Please take the notes and watch and send. Thank you, everybody. See you on
Thank you, ma'am.
Thursday. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.